Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Without a doubt, the last few months have been one of the most transformational times in technology. Generative AI is changing our world and becoming a new force multiplier for organizations in such spaces as productivity, collaboration, software development, data, analytics, and many, many more. Many of you have already discovered the power of these capabilities firsthand. At Microsoft, we have an entire family of Copilot products that are already enabling people and organizations to reach new heights of human potential. In the context of security, AI's impact is likely to be profound. And for the first time, perhaps, we can tilt the balance in favor of defenders. Generative AI will empower organizations to defend at machine speed. It will be a co-pilot for every defender, helping them reach their highest potential. And it will add much-needed resources to their teams at a time in our industry when talent is so precious. Today, we are navigating an unprecedented environment in which the speed, the scale, and the sophistication of cyber attacks are increasing at alarming rates. Just 2 years ago, Microsoft detected 579 password attacks per second across our digital estate. Today, that number has risen to more than 4,000 per second. You couple that with intensifying geopolitics, the use of emerging technologies like AI by our adversaries, a complicated regulatory environment, and such rampant fragmentation that the average organization now uses more than 80 separate tools to manage their environment. It is clearly time for a paradigm shift. Now, technology alone can't solve every problem, but it can help us to reimagine and simplify workflows, to apply human expertise where it's most valuable, and to bring relief and new energy to security professionals whose mission is never ending. That is what inspires us every single day. Now, for many years, Microsoft has been on a journey to help customers of every size simplify the complexity in security, to protect everything in their environment across all major clouds and platforms, and catch the threats that others miss. We believe every organization deserves the best security, and that security should be for all. And we have come a long way thanks to you, all our customers, our partners, our teams, and our community. Our end-to-end security cloud and platform now offer leading capabilities that span security, compliance, identity, device management, and privacy. Core to this portfolio is our Extended Detection and Response, or XDR, which is key for comprehensive threat protection. Our industry-leading XDR solution, Microsoft 365 Defender, enables organizations around the world to deliver security in a unified way across endpoints, email, identities, cloud applications, and data. Not surprisingly, over 60% of our customers are already protecting more than 4 of these critical vectors with Microsoft 365 Defender. And just in the last few months, we have announced new innovations, including simplified settings management for Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, new attack disruption capabilities for hands-on keyboard attacks, and multi-tenancy support for Microsoft 365 Defender. So it's no surprise that Microsoft is a leader in endpoint protection and XDR, as validated by industry benchmarks from Gartner, Forrester, and MITRE. And while that in and of itself leads in comprehensive protection for our customers, Security Copilot advances our mission even further. It brings the power of generative AI to combat the elevated threat landscape, empowering organizations to defend at machine speed with simplicity. It turns our global threat intelligence, our industry best practices, and the security data across our end-to-end portfolio into tailored insights that outpace and outsmart these adversaries. It helps analysts supercharge their skills, collaborate better, and it helps catch what may have been missed given the tool fragmentation and the talent shortage. Today, we are excited to announce yet another innovation milestone on our security journey at Microsoft. Starting in October 2023, Security Copilot delivers a native embedded experience in Microsoft 365 Defender, working across our entire XDR solution in a completely integrated and seamless way. This means that for the first time in the industry, security analysts will have real-time guidance, analysis, search, and summarization at the speed of AI, all within their trusted and proven workflows, places where they like to get their work done. And what's even better, these generative AI capabilities will reason over data across endpoints, across email, identities, and cloud apps, giving analysts unprecedented visibility across their security data. But instead of me telling you about all the exciting possibilities that Security Copilot untaps in Defender's XDR solution, let us show you what it actually looks like. Over to our very own and amazing Scott Woodgate, who will demonstrate this new experience in action.
Today, I'm going to show you for the first time how Security Copilot works directly within Microsoft Defender as your everyday AI companion. This is exciting because it brings Security Copilot to the experience that so many users use today in a seamless way. As a reminder, earlier this year, we demoed Security Copilot in its standalone prompt-based experience that spans multiple solutions. So now let's look at the first embedded Security Copilot experience specifically designed for security operations teams. What you see on the screen is the Microsoft 365 Defender portal. Let's dive into a multi-stage attack incident that needs my attention. What's new here is actually on the right, which is the embedded Security Copilot experience. This experience is available to Microsoft Security Copilot customers in our early access program. Let's say I'm a relatively new analyst, and Security Copilot guides me through the process, anticipating my needs and understanding my intent. First, Security Copilot helps me understand what happened in this incident with a short incident summary. It's so much easier to quickly understand what's going on now than when I had to manually piece together context to build a summary myself. I can use Security Copilot to guide me through the entire process. Looks like we found a phishing attack based on the investigation view. Let me classify the incident. Next, Security Copilot suggests quarantining the employee's device to contain that threat. I look at the details of the device, and then in just a couple of clicks, the device is isolated. Time really matters when you are under attack, and with Security Copilot's guidance, all these steps are very intuitive. It's so much faster with Microsoft 365 Defender and Security Copilot than what some operations teams are dealing with today, with multiple disconnected tools from multiple vendors and having to figure this all out yourself. As I dive into the attack and investigate the impacted device, I see there was an obfuscated PowerShell script that's likely to have been employed by the attacker. I don't have the skills to deal with this, but I really need to understand it now. Here, Security Copilot is super handy. It gives me an easy to understand analysis of the actions performed by the script. It's such a big time saver. During our private preview, Security Copilot helped analyze 500 lines of code in under a minute, and that's just the beginning. Security Copilot now guides me to investigate if the attack has affected additional users. I'm just learning the KQL query language, but no worries with Security Copilot. It automatically takes the investigation context and builds that KQL query so that I can easily hunt for additional users that have received the email from the same sender. And Security Copilot is now guiding me to do an additional query to see if any of those users have clicked that malicious link. Looks like I've discovered a new user, so let me go add them to the incident. Now, back in the incident view, you can see that Mike has been added just like that. To complete remediating the incident, Security Copilot now recommends soft deleting all relevant campaign emails following this investigation. And I can do that right here with a click of the button. Finally, let's generate an incident report, which I can even send to my colleagues. So what you've seen is how Security Copilot is woven throughout the entire experience and can dramatically improve my ability to move faster and to keep my organization safe. Microsoft 365 Defender and Security Copilot working together represent a massive improvement in efficiency for defenders, and I just can't wait to dive in more. Now back to Vasu.
So great to see how Security Copilot can make our industry-leading XDR solution even more powerful. But we have even more exciting news for you today. We've said this many times. Threat intelligence is such a critical tool in making informed security decisions. This is a massive area of investment for Microsoft, and we have a great vantage point to help customers stay on top of what adversaries are doing. Every day, we receive 65 trillion security signals across clouds, across devices, across workloads that power the work of our 10,000 researchers and analysts. What this means to you is that when you are up against a sophisticated threat actor, we want you to have the best knowledge of who they are, how they operate, and most importantly, how you can defend against them. Generative AI has proven to be superior at data analysis, pattern recognition, and content generation. And our private preview demonstrated that one of the most effective ways for organizations to consume and act upon threat intelligence will be through generative AI. The advantage AI brings in terms of scale and speed mean that you get critical insight and guidance sooner, and the information is uniquely tailored to you, to your organization and your threats. That is why today, I am delighted to announce that our premium threat intelligence product, Microsoft Defender Threat Intelligence, will be included with Security Copilot at no cost. Defender Threat Intelligence is an intelligence workbench that connects indicators of compromise to finished intelligence, such as vulnerability articles, enriched open source intelligence, or Microsoft-produced intelligence articles. As Security Copilot enriches security incidents and alerts with Microsoft's vast knowledge of threats, customers can now access Defender Threat Intelligence capabilities directly to deliver deeper insights, expose those modern threats and infrastructure, and identify attackers and their tools, and lastly, accelerate threat detection and remediation. This is a momentous milestone that we believe will empower more organizations with the critical tools and the information to protect themselves in a rapidly evolving security landscape. And now with that, over to our amazing Andrew, who will share with us a story from one of our private preview participants.
It has been a fascinating time as we have worked closely with and learned from our private preview customers. They are using Security Copilot for the very first time in their security operations. And Security Copilot has been enabling their teams to move at machine speed. This is more important than ever today, when the average cost of a single incident has risen to almost $4.5 million. And globally, the cost of cybercrime is expected to reach nearly $14 trillion by 2028. Our customer feedback has shown that even at this early preview stage, Security Copilot saves analysts up to 40% of the time to complete core tasks like investigations and hunting. Furthermore, for time-consuming tasks like reporting, the savings exceeds 60%. More importantly, Copilot is already delivering a range of capabilities and skills to more junior-level analysts that were previously only available to more skilled and seasoned professionals. This effectively means an upskilling of your team to deliver better security outcomes by addressing incidents more quickly and before they can cause harm. To learn more, I am honored today to be joined by one of our Security Copilot customers, Alex Acosta, who is the Senior Director of Security at Enverus. Welcome, Alex.
Appreciate it. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So to get us started, I'm curious, you have a security program today. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you've set that up and what the goals are for it?
Sure. Overall, our goal is to, one, define the risk profile for the company, to help leadership understand what that risk profile looks like, to prioritize where it is we need to focus as a program and remediating risks. We have so much telemetry coming from all the individual business units that our goal is to understand what's going on inside the noise, to help set up automation that looks at and looks for threats and thwarts them as fast as possible.
Got it. I'm curious, what were your expectations of Copilot and joining the Copilot program?
I remember kind of one of the first conversations with the Copilot team saying that my goal and a desired outcome would be that Copilot serves as essentially work augmentation tool to the team and allow them to focus elsewhere on things that are higher value to the organization.
Got it. So you weren't getting to those higher value tasks that you wanted to, but now with Copilot giving your security operations people this extra scale, they can find time to work on this high value stuff, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's 100% correct. We are generating close to 500 gigs of telemetry per day.
Yeah.
And so for a team as small as ours, that's a lot of data to have the team look at from an end-to-end perspective. So the goal was, let's see if Copilot can take the majority of that workload off the team, allow them to assess this data at cloud scale, especially because the reality of it is we're adding more and more data every single day. And so the problem is only compounding. And again, the primary goal for us was how much of this can Copilot offset, allowing them to better focus on those higher order tasks.
So perhaps in close, could you give us an idea of where your team and where your security program saw the biggest gain?
The biggest transformation that we've seen in as an organization has been the ability for my team to focus on tasks that are higher up the food chain. So that might mean someone who may have spent hours a day writing KQL to hunt within Sentinel no longer has to do that because they can ask the question to Copilot and have that generated. And so they can then pivot to focusing on our security and awareness program, coming from the value perspective of how they're spending their time and how that related back to business operations and the business at large. It simply allowed us to focus up and partner with the organization in a much more meaningful way.
That's interesting. So it wasn't that you were only able to improve security outcomes, but you're also able to elevate the sort of stature or the impact of your security team within the broader organization.
That's correct. Security outcomes are delivered faster, I should say.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, allowed us to partner up and to really expose the organization in a much more meaningful way to how security can partner with a business to be successful and to be successful for the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you again, Alex, for being with us today. And once again, we really appreciate you being on your own AI journey with us and with Microsoft Security. We really appreciate it. And with that, now back to Vasu.
Gosh, wasn't that amazing? It is so true that generative AI is a source of great optimism in security. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the concerns we hear about from our customers too. What we've learned over these months is that security is a different use case from others that apply generative AI. And we've set the bar high when it comes to your safety and your privacy. That is why we at Microsoft have made responsible AI an actionable discipline for our internal teams and continue to advocate for it as an industry standard. Reliability and safety are a foundational component of this work. We are the only company to conduct independent, AI-specific red teaming of our Security Copilot capabilities, continuously categorizing and testing our model against all known exploitation and misuse tactics. Transparency and accountability play a unique role as well. Security Copilot is built to show you what happens behind the scenes as you run prompts and receive answers. And protection from over-reliance reminds you of the limitations and the imperfections of generative AI. Fairness and inclusiveness are so critical to ensuring that Security Copilot reflects all and benefits all. We believe that these investments help us build a more reliable and certainly a more trustworthy technology, and that in the long run, they will lead to a more secure future for us all. And finally, privacy is an equally critical element of responsible AI. And our commitment remains the same. Your data stays private to you, and we safeguard it with encryption and security best practices. We do not use it to train foundational models, nor do we share it with OpenAI or other Microsoft customers without your explicit permission. At Microsoft, we are privileged to have a leading role not only in advancing AI innovation, but also in helping to define how AI is developed and deployed safely. But as we've always said, security is a team sport. This has never been truer than in the context of AI. We are thrilled to be ready to open up our early access program and excited to see what you can do with these new capabilities. We welcome with gratitude your participation, your feedback, and your partnership. So here's how you can get involved. Reach out to your Microsoft sales representative to learn more about the Security Copilot Early Access Program. Second, visit our website to learn more about Security Copilot. And finally, subscribe using the link on the screen to stay up to date on what's next for AI in security. Thank you so much for being with us. We are so grateful, and we look forward to sharing more updates with you very soon.